It's a way of life, it's a struggle sometimes, but even dark nights see the light, just open your eyes. If you can look beyond the filth, reading all the lies, raise your head up high and aim for the sky. If you could dream it, you can live it, it might take a few times, but the only people failing are the ones that don't try. Never judge it by its cover, it just might surprise.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm your host, Saul Maldonado with Urban Melody TV, and I'm actually standing here today with a great producer, great actor, Douglas Spain. We just watched Mission Park. Not only is he a great actor, great producer, he's my classmate, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that.
Fairfax High.
There you go. But I don't want you guys to think that, oh, that's why he's interviewing, because they went to the same high school and whatnot. But no.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong?
Right?
You know people, and
that's how it happens. We know people.
in school grounds.
There you go. So no, first of all, congratulations on the movie, man. It was an excellent movie, great movie. I'm very picky about movies. I'm always trying to find a message in a movie, and I know movies can be entertainment, but at the same time they can be influential, and this is one of those that can definitely be influential in many different ways. When you first got the script, was it something that, because of the storyline, that said, you know what, I want to do it? You believed in the script, or were you like, you know what, I just want to go ahead and produce the movie? Or what is it that captured you to say, you know what, I want to be part of it?
Personally, for me, I enjoyed the script. I read it through and I really enjoyed it. I also liked the fact that all the leads, the bad and the good guys in the script, were all Latino. Medina, Ramirez, those were the last names. So you understood that this came from an American neighborhood of Latino kids growing up together, friends. I also liked the backstory of each character, which really resonated with me, because a lot of times you see these sort of violent situations in films and you never know a reason. They just sort of input a reason of like, oh, just kill them because you're evil. And in this film, you really get to see where
definitely.
these characters come from and sort of what leads to these paths that they've taken and the choices that they're making. And that's really what I connected to, because I felt that there was more of a story and a deeper meaning than just nonsense.
And I did
violence.
catch on to it, but it's the way it was set up, where little by little, like different scenes when someone's at that moment, that breaking moment in the movie, where all of a sudden it's a scene of what kind of caused that lifestyle for them, or to be that way. And I think it was definitely well put in the movie,
Thank you.
all the way through. And the one quote, I'm not going to say it because I really want people to watch this movie, but I think it definitely is something that gives people to, think about. And it's the quote that the dad tells Bobby.
Yeah, played by Jesse Borrego. He sort of gives his son some advice, or one line that sort of defines the film. And a lot of people have, including yourself, have come to me and said that line really connected with them, because it's true. I mean, we allow ourselves to be defined by a certain situation,
Right.
and life is filled with so many opportunities that one moment does not really, dictate the rest of your life. So a lot of people have come to me because they've had incidents in their lives, their children have been ill or something of that sort, and they sort of realize that this is a moment in time,
Right.
and it's not really going to be the definition of time. So
Now, you as a Latino, we always say that there isn't enough Latino representation in Hollywood. I take pride in actually standing next to you. Like we said, we actually went to the same high school. We didn't even know until we started talking on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember at Fairfax, there was a mural with famous people that went to Fairfax, like Montalban in Love Boat. I don't know if you know that the Red Hot Chili Peppers also went to Fairfax.
yes, I do. Know
What
that.
would it mean to you to be on that mural at Fairfax High School?
Oh, wow. I think, if that's a difficult question. I would like to sort of be a positive influence for the younger generation. Definitely. I think that the reason I am involved with Mission Park is because I think that we're breaking the mold and giving the lead role, the lead good guy, to a really talented young Latino actor, American Latino actor. I have to clarify because people seem to think that anytime you say Latino, it's separate from being American, and it isn't.
Right, exactly.
It's one and the same thing, so it's like Coke in a can or Coke in a bottle.
Still
It's
Coke.
still Coke. And
That's a nice way of putting things.
So I think that, Jeremy Ray Valdez, he's the sort of protagonist of the film, and he's an American Latino actor. And rarely do you see these roles given to actors. Michael Pena is another one who's sort of breaking the mold,
Right.
And getting those opportunities, but it's very few. And when you're in the business aspect of Hollywood and you're trying to look at marketable actors, you can barely name any of them that are Latino,
Right.
in terms of A, B, or even C list. Unfortunately, because Hollywood isn't really creating the opportunities for actors like myself or Latino to really sink our teeth in and sort of have that, be in a Hobbit movie.
Right.
No, it's because once you're hired in a Hobbit movie, you're Latino, all of a sudden it's like people can't separate the fact that...
Right. And, the message here is not, boo-hoo-hoo, we're victimizing ourselves. No one's giving us
Yes.
that opportunity.
Yes.
In the contrary, you're, prime example of creating your own opportunity.
Yes.
You believed in the movie. You made, of course, included the cast members that you included, talented American Latinos, like you said. So it's not about victimizing, boo-hoo-hoo, Hollywood's not accepting me. It's more saying, you know what, as American Latinos, Hollywood, look what we can do.
Yeah, I don't feel a victim. For me, it's like, listen, if you're not going to do it, I'll do it. And that's what we did with Mission Park. There's just, if the opportunity is not there, then you have to create it.
Exactly.
So that's what we did with Mission Park. But the reason I'm so adamant about talking about it is because I really feel that as a community, we've been brainwashed into thinking that, certain things are a certain way. So it's very hard when you're trying to break that and say, like, just because of the experience I've had with this film where people think, oh, Latinos are in it, it's in Spanish. And it's like, no.
Right.
We speak English.
Exactly.
We're here. And that's the struggles that we've had within the business, outside of the business, of constantly saying, listen, we need to just start accepting ourselves as American, and we need to start accepting each other as American, and just let's not question it anymore. And that's why, for me, it's been a sort of a struggle, I think, because, you were telling me about an incident where you were, auditioning for a role, and it was sort of
Right.
a thug, and they had their perception of what a gangster is, and that gangster perception comes from film, and that film was conceived by someone who has no
idea.
knowledge
Right.
of or ever been in the streets to know. So we really wanted to be authentic and stay true to the experience that Brian Ramirez, the writer-director of Mission Park, had. And the only way to do that is to bring people who can relate to it and understand that. But not to say that we're alienating anyone else, because the story is still
Right.
universal. It still transcends, because it's about friendship, it's about choices, and it's about love, So those are things that are the basis of Mission Park.
Definitely. And, once again, I really want to commend you on it.
Thanks, man.
Excellent job. Congratulations. I know it got picked up by Lionsgate, and
Yes.
the naming change, I know I was talking to David earlier, but we're definitely going to keep people up to date on whether, it stays as Mission Park or it gets renamed.
Oh, it's going to
by
get
Lionsgate.
renamed, because it's like, that's the thing that I've been talking to you about, is the struggle, is that there's a machine and it works a certain way, and it's gotta do the way it does its thing. So when you come in and you're too specific, you're too general, or too specific, I'm saying, And so the title will change, but that's okay. I mean, we wanted, especially myself, my goal was to release Mission Park in theaters as Mission Park,
Right.
and we accomplished that. With David, who you spoke with, my co-producer, was able to garner this AMC deal, and just I'm really proud because my goal was to help Brian execute his vision. And I believe we did that to this extent. What happens after this with Lionsgate is beyond our control, and we'll just let it. But little by little, I like I said, we aren't victims, and you're doing your own show and doing your own thing, because you want to represent the community that you know really well, and the community of artists. And every day, even just the other day, I had an incident where someone wrote me an email and said, there just aren't enough Latino writers. I'm like, no, there are. You're just not looking hard enough.
Right.
And if you really tried, you will find them. We're not rare. I mean, we make up, 30% of the American public. So, and I know a lot of us are talented. We can write. We've been to school. So.
Well, that's why, like I always say, Fox is not doing it. David Letterman's not doing it. Jay Leno's not doing it. But Saul Maldonado with Urban Melody TV is doing it.
I'm doing it.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it. And that's, as long as we stay focused, and that's the idea of not, like you said, falling victims into it. But someone else is not going to do it, then we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And that's that. So,
And I think the one thing that we have to do as a community is just not judge ourselves. We really have to support ourselves. It's kind of there's this perception within the Latino community of like, once you cross the border, close the gates. And it's like it seems to happen a lot, and I've seen many other things. And I feel like we shouldn't, if we're American like you and myself, shouldn't feel like we're better than our Latino people who are from Mexico and stuff, because my mother's from Guatemala and my father, and I love them. I love that culture. I love that life, and I think that we can be here and be together and not segregate ourselves. I really think that that's a big problem, is how we segregate each other, because we are so many, and if we just came together, we would just dominate.
Definitely. I
in a positive way, a positive way, not that
start
we're
a revolution.
Because we're good.
Right.
Like the one thing to end in a good note is that the majority of the productions that I've been a part of as an actor, and now as a producer, where the majority of the cast and crew are Latino, are always fun.
Yeah.
Like they're always a good time, and we're always laughing. It's like a big party. And I just think because we're all very appreciative, and we hug each other and we appreciate each other, and there's this thing in the Latin culture, the passion and the heat that we resonate, that we just love each other and we have such a good time. So the whole cast and crew of Mission Park, except for David because he's Canadian, but even he's become adapted to it. He loves it. He comes out with all the Latin crew now because he knows how much fun we are.
I just come for the margaritas.
Now, last question. You went to Fairfax. You were in theater class or film class?
Acting class.
Acting class.
It was not a very good class.
Right now, you're at AMC Theater, third week, movie you produced. You guys got news that in Phoenix, Arizona, is sold out.
Yes.
What does that mean to you from being in acting class at Fairfax High School to being where you are today?
It means that I never gave up, that I never took no for an answer, because if we would have taken no, we wouldn't be here. That's the thing. There's so many people who just try and bring you down, and you just have to, get with people who lift up your spirits and who support you and stuff, and support you in there's that fine line of like where people are honest about your work, and then there are those who are just hateful.
Right.
And I think there's a difference, because you don't always have to praise someone, say, oh, you're good, because there's that moment that you can say to someone, hey, you can do better here, you can try harder, this was okay, but you can definitely.
Right.
And for Mission Park, that was my goal. Is I had done a lot of other projects, and I knew I could do them better. I knew that I had to be better.
Right.
Because people would tell me, honestly, my friends and family who loved me, they didn't just say, oh, you're great, in that sense. That they would say, you can do better. This was good, but you can be better. And so with Mission Park, we really tried to just be on par with Hollywood, because if you're going to compete, you have to be on
step
par.
up,
And
yeah.
the film just looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
The actors are definitely strong in their performances. Brian did a great job directing. And so now looking back, I was not a good high school student. So in Fairfax High, another student was a friend of mine, and we had similar names, right? So I would do, unschooly things
And get him in trouble.
and use his name when I got caught.
Douglas Spain, the other Douglas Spain. If you're watching this, now you know why you got suspended.
Yeah.
Why you got detention.
No, he was a good kid though. They were like, why? This can't be you. This can't be you. But yeah, one day he was like, dude, are you using my name? I was like, I don't know. We have similar names.
Douglas, once again, man.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations. Great
Congratulations to you, man. I'm glad that
Appreciate
you I know your life was a lot harder than mine.
You know what? It wasn't harder. I made the choice. So I can't blame anyone else but myself.
No, we
But,
can't. That's so
yeah.
true. I think that's something I live by. That's why I love how you said we're not being victims. It's because I'm never a victim. I always take responsibility for my own actions, and for anything that comes into my life, I take responsibility for it. And I think it just makes me a better person if I don't blame anyone and I just sort of, say it was me and or what did I do to get myself in this situation and how can I get out of it, and just
Exactly.
makes it more of a forward-thinking, forward action kind of approach, as opposed to like being the victim saying, oh no, life is hard on me and people hate on me and all that stuff.
Right.
So-
No. I don't want to call them our fans, but how can our community find more projects that you've been part of?
DouglasSpain.com and Facebook, Douglas Spain. I'm very approachable. I mean, I like welcome anyone and everybody. I've got people that I met on Facebook who came to see the movie, and I just think, it's like that movie, remember, with, what's her name? Michelle Pfeiffer.
Which movie?
The one where she was the teacher, and they did the hip-hop song. What was his name?
I know which one you're talking about, but...
Well, she was a teacher of
Right.
a really bad school.
Right.
And one of the things that I liked about it is how she walked into the class and she gave everybody an A.
Right.
Everybody had an
there you
A.
go.
And it was up to them to keep it.
Right.
And that I really liked, because I felt that she was walking in and saying everybody was even and everybody was equal, but it was up to them to determine whether or not they would stay there, if they would stay at the top. And that's sort of how I approach anyone I meet and everything. I always believe the best in people, and then I give them the opportunity to prove that they are or
hang themselves.
Or hang themselves.
Once again, everyone, Mission Park, Douglas Spain, excellent movie. I'm your host, Saul Maldonado, Urban Melody TV.
Thank you.